By the end of this video, you should be able to identify 4 activities which should be used in your music teaching to enable you to become a more efficient and effective CXC teacher. Also, make better decisions about what to teach and which activities to spend more time on. Before we go any further, it is important to note that your chances of becoming a more effective music teacher will be much higher if you get into the habit of planning and being more organized. Always remember that working hard is not the same as working smart. What are those 4 essential activities that ought to be a regular part of your music teaching? I am certain that none of them is new to you. However, it would be to your benefit if you started considering them as strategies rather than just different components of the music program. The first activity is listening and appraising. This includes listening to audio or live music and responding to questions which you would have prepared in advance. It also includes analyzing sheet music and answering questions about the music. Let us take a look at an example of each. In the first example, the students will listen a couple times to an extract from Spring by Vivaldi while they answer questions like the following. How are the beats in the piece of music grouped? Or for older students, what is the meter of the music? On which beat does the melody begin? Which of the following words best describes the tempo? Adagio, andante, allegro. Is the piece in a major or minor key? Which instrument is playing the melody? What family of instruments of the orchestra does it belong to? Name 2 other instruments which belong to that family. How many bars long is the first phrase? What do you notice about the first and second phrases? On which note of the solfege scale does the melody begin? What is the interval between the first 2 notes of the melody? How would you categorize this genre of music? Give 1 word to describe the texture of the music. Compose your own lyrics to the melody. Using the hand drum, woodblocks and cymbals, compose a rhythmic accompaniment to the melody. Notice how a number of different concepts are being tackled in this one lesson. Please note, however, that I am not suggesting that all those questions be asked at the same time. This is just to give you an idea as to the type of questions which can be asked, of course depending on the stage or level the students are at. In this second example, students are given sheet music and are required to answer questions about the music. For example, what key is the song in? Which other key carries the same key signature as the above piece? How many beats are in the 3rd bar of the recorder part? What is the letter name of the note in the 2nd bar of the bass clef? What is the interval between the first 2 notes of the melody? True or false? The song begins moderately loud. What is the name of the chord being played in bar number 3? Which is the loudest bar? What is the pitch name of the highest note in the melody? Circle 3 notes next to each other in the melody which sound like mi, fa, so. The second activity which will enable your students to develop musically is performing. This includes giving students time to practice technical exercises and as many solo pieces as possible. Performing also includes having students engage in ensemble work and sight reading activities. The third activity or strategy to improve teacher effectiveness is composing. Composing activities include creating original pieces of music, arranging a previously composed work, or improvising or creating music spontaneously during a performance. The more often students compose, the better they become at it, and the more they are able to understand and apply the theory. The fourth activity, of course, is called direct instruction. This is where all the elaboration and explaining of theoretical concepts take place. Direct instruction can take place before, during, or after engaging in the previously mentioned activities as students' weak areas are discovered. Direct instruction or explaining music theory should always be followed as much as possible by an opportunity to put it into practice or to experience it in an authentic setting. How do you decide what to teach? One of the challenges faced by beginning music teachers can be found in the questions, what should I teach and when should I teach it? How much listening or performing or composing should I do? The first answer is the most obvious, yet you will be surprised how many teachers teach without even looking at it. Use the syllabus. As a teacher, your main duty is to provide students with the requisite knowledge and skills appropriate to their level, all of which are outlined in the syllabus. The activities you use are the vehicle that gets them there. A simple way to monitor what students have learned and what they need to know is to regularly refer to the music vocabulary section in the syllabus, where you will find a summary of all the concepts under each element of music that students need to know. The second response to the questions what to teach and how much time should you allocate to the various activities is teach as the need arises. It all depends on the stage or level your students are at. As you assess your students' performance in the various activities, you will recognize what needs to be taught, retaught, or emphasized. This can either be done at the spur of the moment when possible, or during a subsequent lesson. The key is really to provide your students with as many opportunities as possible to practice and to apply the theory. This is how learning takes place. This is how skill is developed. And the best way to implement that is through weekly listening and appraising activities, performing and composing activities, done in tandem with direct instruction.